Let's get down to brass tacks. Welcome to the channel, ladies and gentlemen. We're ready to rock. It's Tuesday night, so Kill, you know what that means. You know where we got to go.
Yeah?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, Kill's with me, Eric, and of course, the lovely Coriander. Guys, tonight is the rematch. The rematch. Texas versus New Jersey. I can't believe it. Get your popcorn ready. It's absolutely crazy. Last week, I don't know if I want to say it was an upset, but it was a crazy week last week. So
it was a surprise.
It kind of was, man, because these panel votes, they make it interesting. There's no doubt at all. For you guys here in the chat, thank you so much for hanging out with us. We really appreciate it. Just to give a blanket hello to all of you guys. And let's see, we got Jerry in the house. What's up, Jerry? We got Antonis. We got Paula. Mr. Rick is back with us. He wants to be somebody. Jason's with us. What's up, man? Good to see you. He's saying Jason for the win all day, every day. All right. You never know. He is the champ right now. He's the champ. He won the title. Two-time champ. DJ, what's up? We got A-Troll in the chat. We've got Julie with us. Hey, Julie. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Thank you for being here and helping to moderate. Melissa's in the house. What's up, Melissa? And we got Neil with us. Neil and the cats are here.
You wouldn't miss this one.
He wouldn't miss this one. He wouldn't. And DJ, yes, we have done a 3-man match. We have. Check out the playlist, you guys. You guys should be watching that playlist. It's absolutely such a fun series to be doing. I think we're past 50 episodes. That's crazy, guys. Like
every week. Wow.
50 episodes, guys, every week. And let me just say, with that in mind, a thank you to you guys here on the panel, because that basically means every week, we're taking the time to watch 2 movies, to prep, and to come on here and do what we do. So very cool. Yeah, man. Gene's in the house. What's up, Gene? Good to see you. Neil, come on, man. Neil's coming in.
Whoa.
Oh, wow.
Oh, my God. No.
You do.
Wow.
Jason lovers. Oh, my God.
Listen.
You've got to help us.
Neil,
that was a good show, guys.
We haven't even gotten going. Neil, first of all, let me just say, Neil coming in with a $50 super chat, bro.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, man. Seriously.
Cats have spoken.
The cats have spoken, and it really, but these are the reasons.
How many cats do you have, man?
He has 50 cats. He has 50. 50, bro. But seriously though, thank you so much, man. It helps to keep the lights on. It helps us to keep doing this series, because that's, we know that you guys enjoy it and will come to check it out. He says just gonna go ahead and put TCM in the lead. So that is literally 50 points for TCM. Wow. All
right, guys.
I want to cry.
Neil has spoken. Jason has an uphill battle. So
wow. Okay, there we go. Neil, thank you so much, man.
Yeah.
Let's just look. We haven't even officially started. I think this is the first time this has happened. Let's do a super chat for Neil. I think you're gonna really enjoy this one, man. But seriously, thank you for all the support that you've given us for all of this time. We're talking years, bro. We appreciate that, and it helps to keep us going. So let's do a super chat clip. This is a different way to start the show off. But hey, Kill, sometimes when you have some issues, you never know who else might know about it, and it might come off like this.
Oh, freaking A! What's that? What smells? Ooh, baby. Ooh, baby. Ooh, baby.
What is that stench? Roll up the window.
Ooh, baby. Ooh, baby. Ooh, baby. Ooh, baby. Ooh, baby. Ooh, baby. Ooh, baby.
There it is. Wow. The looks on you guys' face. That's the best part, man.
Yeah.
Neil, thank you so much, man. Seriously, we appreciate you. Honestly. And Jerry has a channel member anniversary, so congratulations to Jerry as well. 8 amazing months on this Kickers channel. Thank you. Hey, we thank you, man. Seriously, all the support. Wow, what a way to start this thing off. This is crazy. For all of you guys that are just jumping in, welcome. So let's get official on this rematch, this title fight. Eric, let's start with you. Who's in corner number 1?
All right. Well, this competitor will do whatever needs to be done to keep unwanted visitors from invading his property. Be it with a mallet, a meat hook, or a chainsaw. All intruders will learn the hard way to avoid the creepy house in the middle of nowhere, even if to ask for help. And if you think this competitor is bad enough, just wait until the rest of his family shows up. Grandpa's as old school as they come, literally, when it comes to butchering, and the older brothers aren't too shabby with either a straight razor or even a broom. Tonight's challenger will be attempting to take back his Battle World Championship as if he's taken back his home from a group of strangers. Representing the great state of Texas, we have Leatherface in 1974's Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
All right. Okay. Coriander, who do we have in corner number 2? The champ himself. Who do we got?
Okay. Well, let me put that in the old computer. And when you have a family that's ready to make a Jarvis sandwich at any moment, then life is full of love. Trish and Tommy are a duo that is badass and smart. People thought Jason was dead, so did Axel, but they were wrong. Don't go out on a raft alone. Don't peek out of windows during a rainstorm. Don't drop the soap in the shower, old buddy, old pal. Don't scream, he's killing me, instead of running away. And don't you dare ask Ted for the corkscrew. Better to be safe than a dead fuck. Here's Crystal Lake's favorite son, Jason Voorhees, in the final chapter.
There we go. There we
Very
go.
good.
There's a lot of rules in Jersey, bro. Kill. Let's go to Kill's commentary as always. What do you think, man? The rematch of rematches, maybe.
Man, this is going to be an interesting one. Can Jason pull it out? Can he say, "Hey, look, I'm back, bitches," or will Leatherface do the unthinkable with the comeback clause, with the rematch? So they're two titans. This is going to be awesome. I am so set for this.
I agree, man. The pretty much the best of the best from these franchises. So I don't know, man, but I hear something, man. I hear something. Some people are coming to the arena and they might have chainsaws and mallets and everything, man. Do you hear it, Kill? Do you hear it, man?
I hear something.
All right. Well, let's get ready to check them out. For you guys in the chat, for you guys watching the replay, sit back, relax as we get ready to head into Battle World, Texas versus New Jersey. You know what time it is. Yes, indeed. Oh
job.
man, I'm getting pumped up, man.
Right?
All right, this is crazy. For you guys that have just jumped in, thanks for coming. We appreciate it, and get ready to rock with this. So we are gonna go through this as we always do, category by category. Okay, we're gonna give the point to the film that we think deserves the point, not based upon our favorites, but based upon the category. For you guys in the chat, definitely let us know which movie you want to give the point to. We won't be able to get to everyone's comment. We're going to try. But if you do choose to send in a super chat, like our good friend Neil from Neon Black Reviews, we'll make sure to get to your comment, number one. But you can also put those points to the film of your choice. Okay.
And
So that's
Jason needs it. Oh my
yes.
God.
Yes, I don't know if we've ever started like this. Jason is already down by 50.
We've started with super chats before we've introed, and they've gone back and forth, but we've never had something like this boom like right away that much. I don't think.
We've never
Yes,
had a hold my beer moment like this.
Yeah.
yes. Okay, so Jason is behind. All right, so let's start this thing off.
No.
Now we have coriander. It'll be all right. We Eric, let's start this thing off. We always want to start with the poster work. So we have the poster for Friday the 13th, the final chapter, and we also have the poster for the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Eric, who gets the point and why?
I really like them both, but I'm gonna go with Chainsaw, and it's mainly because I like the simplicity of both of them. I like how cool it's the hockey mask with the blood and the knife, but TCM it has those 70s posters had a certain vibe to them, man. That I really dig. Plus, I love just it's a white background with black and red lettering, and that pops it out for me. And I like how small the picture is of Leatherface and the girl on the meat hook, so you're more focused on the lettering, and I really dig that.
All right. Okay. Kill, how about you?
You know what? I know it's a 70s poster and that's part of the aesthetic, but for me, I feel that the giant lettering of the question overshadows the name of the movie. You know, I like the coloring of the name of the movie, but I feel like, it's just, is the name of this movie Who Will Survive and What Will Be Left of Them? I don't know. I gotta go with Jason here because I've always loved this poster. The knife through the eye or the eye socket of the mask, the blood, the coloring, the simplicity of it. And it just looks badass. And it makes me wonder, like, oh, is it really the final chapter? Do they kill him? Does he get stabbed in the eye? What's going on here? And of course, the classic Friday the 13th font of the lettering there, So yeah, I got to go with Jason on this one.
All right. Okay. Coriander, how about you?
Can you put the other one back up there?
There we go.
I kind of like this one. I like how Leatherface looks. I like, the background, what is that? It looks like it could be like rawhide. You don't know. And I love, I kind of like it. Even with all the words,
All
I
right.
still kind of like it.
All right. For me, I think both of these are good posters for sure. I think most posters up until we got to maybe about like the mid 90s, most horror posters, not all, but most of them had some really good designs. And these two are no different. Now, that being said, and there is a variation, and this version of TCM, I do like the simplicity of it. It's very simplistic. Like you were saying, Eric, the 70s posters had a little bit even more of a different feel to them. And I think they were a little bit more simplistic versus the 80s. But this is such a great Friday poster. I got to give the point to Friday. It's one of my favorite Friday posters. This may be tied with one or two others. And the simplicity of this as well. But what I love about it is you got the hockey mask there. You got the dagger through the eye socket. You're thinking, what? The final chapter is over? We just listen, man, we just did a marathon against Chris with the Chris mask. What are we doing? So I remember seeing this in the video store, and it instantly grabs your attention and your curiosity. So I'm going to give this point to Friday 13th, the final chapter. But I do love both. And it's funny because there's variations of the TCM poster, obviously, about to celebrate its 50th year in October. And Friday 4 just celebrated its 40th. I think it was 2 months ago. So it's really, awesome for these two movies. But TCM has a couple variations. There's a variation of this same exact poster that's kind of reddish. I prefer that one better. And that one might have gotten my point. Because the red just looks, really cool. And then the image of Leatherface kind of pops more and it isn't kind of not hidden by the letters, but it just pops better. But anyways, I'm going with Friday on that one. All right. Very, very cool. Let's go to the chat. Some of these guys are going with Friday. Julie's going with Friday. Kay's going with Friday. Jason says Friday. Jason gets 1,000 points. I wish, but he is way behind, man.
Hey, there's one way to make that happen.
Right.
I just thought of this night. Did you announce that champion gets home field advantage?
Yes, the champion does get home field advantage. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
So that is Jason. So he gets an automatic 5 points. Yes. Thank you. I appreciate that. Dominance. Yeah, right. Stop. Jason Dyer is coming in. $2 super chat. So Jason wins for the poster. Give him 1,000 points. Okay. He'll get 2. But thank you, man. We appreciate it. Seriously. Thank you for the super chat and the support. Much love. Gene's going with TCM. All right. You guys are all over the place. That's what this is all about. And thank you, Julie, reminding people, if you haven't already, please hit the like button. It helps to support us and this stream. Okay, Eric, next we got to go to the tagline. The tagline for the movies. The tagline for TCM is who will survive and what will be left of them. America's most bizarre and brutal crimes. Okay, and then with the final chapter, we have Jason is back, and this is the one you've been screaming for. Who gets the point? Jason is back, and this is the one you've been screaming for.
I'm going TCM. Who will survive and what will be left of them? That fits perfectly with a movie that has the word massacre in the title. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The Jason one it's okay, I guess. But what will be left of them? That really hits the nail on the head. So
all right, Kill. How about you?
So this is the first light work, easy street of the night. I'm going with TCM. I like puns just as much as the next guy, but God damn it, like that's not a good pun. And yeah, I agree with exactly what Eric said. I mean, who will survive and what will be left of them? What's left after a Texas Chainsaw Massacre? Like what limbs are left? It fits perfectly. I'm going with TCM.
All right, Coriander. How about you?
Can I hear the Friday one more time?
Jason is back, and this is the one you've been screaming for.
Yeah, even though I want to give him the point, yeah, it's got to go to TCM.
There's no lying here.
There's never been any lying here. Never. Okay, for me, I have to agree with you guys. I think this goes to TCM. It's just, it grabs your attention. When you look at it on the poster, it even pops more as a tagline. This is a good example of how a tagline can be good, but then the poster actually accentuates it. So when you see it in the video store, if you got it as a poster at home, it just hits. Who will survive and what will be left of them? I love it. The intrigue, the curiosity, it all works. And it works well with the simplicity of the poster. All right. Real quick, in the chat, Danielle's in the chat saying, I can't decide, so I'll give it to Friday 13th. Jason needs a helping hand. He needs a lot. Bro, this might have been
he needs like 4 or 5 hands, I think.
For a champion, this might be the toughest beginning of all time. It really might be. Atrol is going with Friday. Ty is in the chat. What's up, man? Going with TCM. Jason Rushman's in the chat. What's going on? Wayne is going with Friday. Too cheesy. All right. Oh no, TCM said that Friday is too cheesy. Okay. All right. But you know what though? Back then, here's the thing though. Back then, taglines sometimes were meta like that. You know what I'm saying? As far as saying Jason is back and this is the one, you know. So it was a sign of the time, and I think it still works for it. I really, really do. But that's just me. Gene's going with TCM. Ben's in the house saying, I've always loved TCM's tagline, but Friday 13th, a 24-hour nightmare of terror. Ooh, okay, there you go. We got Strange Monkey in the house. What's up, bro?
Monkey.
Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. He's going with Jason. He knows what's going on. Good for you, buddy. Good for you, buddy. Okay, let's get ready to go to our next category, Eric. And that is the opening of the film, which is usually the first couple minutes, could be up to 15 minutes. So obviously with TCM, it's them, you know, going to the cemetery and getting situated and all that. And with Friday, we've got everything leading up to Axel doing his 80s aerobics. So who gets the point and why?
Aerobics be damned. I'm going to go with Friday the 13th. And I think it's because props have to go to Joseph Zito. He's done plenty of Chuck Norris movies. He knows how to film a crime scene. Yeah. And I love how this starts with the crime scene that's left over from part 3. You know, the helicopter shot, the over the head shot. It feels, you feel how cold it is at night. You know what I mean? Outside by that barn, you know, watching it, I think. And then I just like, you know, you've said it before about Halloween 2. Hospitals are pretty creepy, especially when there's only 2 people, you know, on the clock. So even though Axel's just a goofy dork, you know, you got to add props to Savini's kills. I do really enjoy TCM's opening because it also sets the tone of how uncomfortable you're going to be. But I'm sorry, Zito hit a home run with this opening. All
right. Okay, Kill, how about you?
I love the creepy hospitals at night where they have the skeleton crew, you know, shots out to Halloween too.
Yeah.
But yeah, this one's so good. Like it, you know, and just like Eric was saying, it not only sets the tempo of it, you know, I just remember I'm looking and I'm like, all right, Jason, get up, you son of a bitch.
Get up, you son of a bitch.
You know, like, come on, where you at, brother? And you're waiting, you're watching. It's like, where's Waldo? Like, when is he gonna pop out and smash some poor nurse's face while she's just getting meds? And oh, you guys are trying to make out. Oh, let me turn this up and boil you like lobsters or whatever, you know. And it's just so good with the anticipation. So no disrespect to TCM, but I gotta go with Jason on this one.
All right. Okay. Coriander, how about you?
I mean, I have to give it to Friday. I mean, I love how the first, you know, 2, 3, and 4, they all like flow, you know, and I just love that, how the endings go with the beginnings of the next one. And yeah, I mean, we get to see Jason come back and do his thing. So yeah, it was great.
All right. Okay. I totally agree. This easily goes to Friday the 13th. And here's the thing to think about as well. Like, and all of you guys have mentioned it, and it's true. The flashback scene is fantastic. I mean, they show a great montage of the other films. And I used to love that, especially as a kid. That always kind of got me in the zone. But here's my thing. Even if we didn't have that, if we just start out at the barn where they pick up Jason's body and go all the way through Axel's situation, I still think that's a better opening than TCM's. And I like TCM's opening because it's a setup. TCM's opening is a setup. And obviously there was no movie before it, right? And it's fine. But you said it too, Eric. Joe Zito, man. Wow. I mean, just you could tell this movie had a higher level of care as far as the direction and the camera work and all of that type of the aerial shot from the copter. So yeah, this is a great opening to a really, really good movie. Okay, real quick too in the chat, let's jump to these guys. Gene's going with Friday, Melissa's going with Friday, and Neil making sure we remember the great John Larroquette Opening dialogue followed by camera snapshots of body parts. Can't be beat. TCM, baby. There you go. There you go. And we love John Larroquette.
Every
We
TCM
love him.
movie that has a narration, he'll do it. I love that.
He'll
about
do
him.
it. And when he did this one, all he needed was a little bit of a joint
Mhm.
or whatever. You know, that's all he needed. So
Mhm.
shout out to John Larroquette and his fantastic, voiceovers. We got Frank in the chat. What's up, Frank? Good to see you, man.
Hey.
Hope you're doing well. Okay. And let's see. Jason coming in with another $2 super chat. Final chapter. It will make you dance. Kick it. It will make you dance. Shout out to Crispin Glover, who is the greatest of all time when it comes to dancing. And Jason, we're going to put those 2 points to Friday. So Friday gets another 2 points as it starts to try to start walking up that hill. it's trying. It's looking and it's wondering, can I walk up this hill? But thank you so much, man. We appreciate you. Seriously. Scott's in the chat too. Good to have you here, Scott. All right. Now, real quick, for Jason's super chat, let's throw another clip in here for him. And listen, sometimes if you get pissed off, Kill, you might do anything, even when you had great demeanor before. Even the legends get to this point like this.
If that girl dies tonight, hey, number one. You're the dude.
There you go. The late great Donald Pleasance.
That one gets me every time.
I love it too, man. You're the Duke.
You're
Okay.
the Duke. You're
You're
number
the
one.
Duke. I love it how he says he was the best. He really was, man.
Yeah.
All right. Our next category, Eric, we're going to talk about the music as always. So who gets the point and why?
I think I've said it before the first time we did a TCM. I don't really remember much of the music. And in the horror genre, Harry Manfredini is pretty legendary. So I'm going Friday.
All right. Kill, how about you?
You know what? I'm in total agreement with Eric on this one. When it comes to TCM, the imagery is what sticks with me, not necessarily the music, although I know it's in there.
Mhm.
But those classic, Jason, song notes resonate with me, especially in this one. I got to go Friday the 13th.
All right. Okay. Coriander, how about you?
Yeah, I definitely have to go with Friday. Also, I really can't remember the music in TCM. Except for like the pings and the pangs that it made.
Yeah, it had
You
more
know.
ambiance.
Yeah.
Yep. Ambient sounds. Absolutely. And I agree with you guys. There's no doubt that Harry Manfredini really was a big part of the soul of so many of these films in the franchise. It truly was a character and it added to the atmosphere. It was really, when you think about it, is lightning in the bottle, because we've seen other slashers that are out in the wilderness or the woods or camps or whatever. But what always made these movies, in my opinion, that cut above was things like the characters and the music and the cinematography, and it really puts you into that place. So yeah, the point has to go to Friday. And I love TCM with the ambient sounds and the pings and all of that, because it's very gritty, but when you put one versus the other, there's no lying. There is no lying. Okay, real quick too in the chat, Atrial saying Friday music was straight iconic. Scott's going with Friday. Neil saying TCM has no score. It didn't need one. This is a good point. It was able to maintain tension without it. Very good point. And Jason's coming in again. Hey, $5 super chat. He's trying.
Determined.
Hey, well, Jason Voorhees is going to need it, man. He needs determination at this
Bless
point.
your heart.
But thank you so much, Jason. We appreciate that. 5 points to Friday, the final chapter, saying, hey, Ted, where's the corkscrew? Yes. When we watched it, I was imitating it to Coriander. She starts laughing. Ted!
Oh, yeah.
Crispin Glover was great. He
Yep.
was absolutely great in this movie. Jason, thank you so much for that super chat. We appreciate you, man. And we will put those 5 points to the final chapter as it continues to try to climb the mountain.
I don't know. I think Jason might be allergic to cats, so I don't know if he's going to be able to survive. We'll see.
I don't know either, man. All right, our next category, the story. The story. Eric, which of these films has the better story?
That's tough because I like them both for different reasons.
Right.
I'm gonna slightly give it to Jason, and the reason why, and it's my reason why might be unfair because it's a sequel. It's the continuity, and the Rob character is a callback. He's doing it to get revenge on Sandra, who was from part 2. You know what I mean? So I'm a sucker for continuity, especially when it works. We all know horror continuity, even in the Friday franchise, is pretty screwed up. But when it works, and it works like that, I just think that's a really cool callback. So it's not just teens trying to survive. It's also a little bit of a revenge story. You know, even though he wasn't successful, that little bit of a revenge story, you know, it's actually, honestly, it's fun for me. So,
all right. Kill, how about you?
This is a tough one because you kind of have the beginning of a franchise, you know, i.e. the beginning of the story, where you have the fourth entry in a story where there's lore already built upon it. Just really trying to break these two movies down. They both are simplistic, but I'm it to Friday the 13th because of the nuances that unfortunately came before it. But then on top of that, also the survivor story, you know, you have a family unit, you have a sister, you know, protecting her little brother, you know, no disrespect to the teens, they get slaughtered in the snuff film, which I say all the time, and that's a compliment, which is Texas Chainsaw Massacre. But you got little kid danger, you know, so you got a big sister that's like, not on my watch, not today, Bob. So yeah, Friday the 13th.
Oh, that was good, man. All right, Coriander, how about you?
Yeah, you know I'm gonna give it to Friday. Come on. You know, and I love how at the end, it's not just a final girl. You've got a brother and a sister who did it together, and yeah, you know. So yeah, that's different. So there you go.
All right. You know, I think, and Eric, you said this too. I think it's both of these films have good stories for what they are, and I can enjoy each of them for different reasons. You know, as far as the grittiness, or as far as the depth, and so far from both of them. But I have to edge this out to Friday, and there's one particular reason why. Both of them have a great story, and both of them have, you know, antagonists that you are captivated by, scared of, and so forth. But the thing that Friday has is the dynamic between the characters. I think there's more layers, you know, especially when you talk about the siblings, when you talk about Trish and Tommy, but even with the other group, with the kids, you know, whether it's, you know, Ted, you know, and all these different things is going on. You know, it's a lot of story beats that comes together, and that's why you kind of get attached to these characters, which is what happens in the best Friday the 13th films. You know, it's one of the things that really sets it apart from other slashers, especially if they're backwoods or what have you. The characters usually pop in one way or the other. So I have to edge this one out to Friday the 13th. All right. Let's go back to the chat. And we got Gene's going with Friday. All right. And Jason's coming in again with a $2 super chat. Thank you so much, man. He's trying, man. It says new Friday movie has Dennis Edwards on the soundtrack. Dennis Edwards instead of Alice Cooper, right? Thank you so much, man. We appreciate you. Seriously. We will put those 2 points will go to Friday as well. All right. Neil saying that mountain can get higher. The cats have a credit card too. Oh, gee.
Great.
God.
Don't tempt them, people.
Right? Danielle saying again, Friday 13th has the unfair advantage due to this is a continuation. Well, I think it could be looked at as both ways, because sometimes a continuation makes the product stale.
Yeah.
So I think it
Yeah.
could be but at the end of the day, we just call it like it is because this was a rematch from last week when we had TCM 3D and Friday 5. So we just kind of flipped the tables this week for a rematch because both of these franchises have some fantastic entries.
Mhm.
All right, let's see. Let's go to our next category. The scarier threat, Eric. The scarier threat. Who gets the point and why?
99% of the time, and it's going to include this time, you got to go with Leatherface. You know what I mean? No disrespect to Jason, but yes, he can throw things, and like he throws the hammer, he can kill you with his bare hands. But Leatherface chases after you with a chainsaw. And again, no offense, a chainsaw is scarier to me than a machete. Plus, you also have Leatherface's family going after you. You have the hitchhiker, crazier than shit. You know what I mean? You don't have to pick him up, but still, And then you have the cook. Poor Sally walks in there looking for help, and he ends up beating her with a broom and sticking her in a potato sack. You know what I mean? So you don't know how far this family goes because he was at the gas station the whole time. So just not even if you take out Leatherface's size and his weapon, just the quantity of the threat, I'm sorry, Jason, it's got to go to Leatherface.
All right. Okay. Kill. How about you?
So I'm looking at this in twofold. Jason will just kill you. Jason will just kill you as quick as possible with whatever he can. Bash you into a tree, crush your skull, shoot you through the eye with a spear. Just toss you out of a house,
Right.
and you break your neck. Leatherface, he may hit you with the mallet. He might put you on a hook and then kill you. He may kill you, then put you on a hook, then carve you up and eat you. Or like Eric said, the family might get at you. You might run down a cop and think, oh, I'm safe. And nope, you're not. You go to a convenience store. Help me. These people are crazy. Oh, what people? My family? So it's like, I look at it with the way that you die and the quantity of killers. Jason is solo dolo, and Leatherface got the whole family. And you know what? Yeah. After they kill you, they might have a little meal.
Yeah, there
so
you go.
I gotta go TCM on this one. It's
All right. Okay. Coriander, how about you?
Of course, Jason is scarier. Come on. In the last movie, he was like, he hung himself, broke his neck, right? Needed to get like an axe to the head or something, right? So, hello, people think he's dead, but he's coming back. And you get Leatherface here who can trip and fall and have the chainsaw hit his leg, and he's pretty much, you're good to go. So
he didn't trip, he got hit in the head with a wrench. There's a difference.
Well, I'm just saying, Jason is like non-stoppable, coming through doors, windows, whatever he's got to, and it's just one. He doesn't need a whole damn family to take out one girl. Jason would get it done, and it would get done.
All right.
Enough said.
Okay.
Right.
All right. Okay. For me, this is tricky, man, because all of you guys made good points, and the fact that when we do scarier threat is basically putting yourself in the situation, right? And so you got to ask yourself, if you were broke down in Texas, would you have done the things that they would have done? You know what I'm saying? Because like when they first go to the gas station, Drayton wasn't going to do anything. Right. He was just like, you guys don't want to go to that old house. Them girls don't want to go there, blah, blah, blah. So, there were ways to get out of it. Same thing with the hitchhiker. There were, you got away from him. It was a situation where they just ran out of luck is basically what happens. If you're at the camp and that's where you are, let's say for the weekend, man, you're in big trouble unless you came armed. So this is almost like a toss up in a way. I have to kind of lean towards Friday the 13th. And Kill, you said this because with Leatherface, if he gets you, yes, he may kill you, but he may save you for dessert.
That's what scares me, though.
Well,
Yeah.
that's true. That's true, but that means I can get away. And when we do this scarier threat category, we're putting ourselves in this situation, and I feel as though I got a shot. Jason, and rest in peace to Ted White. Jason is running after you. I mean, he's going through windows, he's going through shower glasses,
He's busting up guns.
I mean, it's crazy what he's doing. He's taking what happened in the last movie and ramping it up, if that's even possible. So I gotta say, man, if I was in that situation at the camp, I don't know, man. I think that could be a scary situation. So I'm gonna go with Friday on this.
Just find a random 10-year-old boy and trick Jason, and it worked with Corey Feldman, so you never know.
Well, that's true. That's true. So hey, you gotta sometimes have your smarts, man. Real quick, in the chat, Jason Dyer is trying, man. You gotta give him some credit, man. He's coming in, $10 super chat. We're about halfway there. Actually, no, we're about there. Anyways, thank you so much, man. We appreciate it. I know you're trying to keep track of where you're at with Friday 13th. Saying he's killing me. I know, I love that scene. It deserves 1,000 points on its own. People joke about the scene, but how scary is it that you know you're going to die? Justice for Rob. I need some Dennis Edwards in my life. Kick it, bro. I wish I still had it. I really do, but we get copyrights for it, which really, really sucks because I love that one, man. But I had to retire it because YouTube, it hit the streams that had on. I had to go back to like 30 different streams at least and take it out. It was ridiculous. But this is what we will do, Jason. Thank you so much for the super chat. And we will do a clip with this. Here we go.
Budweiser, you created a monster, and they call him Frankenstein. And the tavern down the street is the laboratory where he makes the transformation all the time.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, baby. All right. So Jason,
It's the guys dancing in the corner that got me.
Yeah.
I know. Those are the hype men. Those are the hype men. Jason, we're gonna put 10 points to Friday 13th. All right. Very, very cool. Let's see. These guys, Ben's going with Leatherface for the scarier threat. Gene going with TCM. Melissa is going with Friday. So as always, we are divided in the chat. Wow. Jeff, what's up, man? In the house saying, listen, you can't get away from Jason. He teleports. It's a good point, man. It's a good point. He was hiding in the basement when Rob got killed. Rob was already in the basement and then goes up and it comes back down. Jason just pops out of nowhere. Hey, buddy. You know, it's crazy. It's crazy. Jason coming in again for a $2 super chat. Creighton Duke fears nothing except Jason. Facts. There you go. Shout out to Creighton Duke, the Duke himself.
He doesn't fear Jason.
All right, so we got another 2 points. I love it. All right, let's go to our next category. I lost track of where we were. Next up, the better jumper. Eric, the better jumper. In both of these movies, and I've referenced Trish so many times, but the truth of it is that Sally also had a choice to make, and she jumped out of a window when Leatherface was coming after her. So the question is, between the two, who's the better jumper? Which is the better jumper scene? Is it Trish's or is it Sally's?
You said which is the better jumper scene? Going on those words alone, I'm going to Miss Sally. As much as I appreciate Trish's scene, she kind of knocks herself out for a little bit, and Jason just kind of does that. He looks at her, he's like, "Oh, okay, now what?" You don't look at her. Sally jumps full force. She runs as fast as she can, and she's lucky to find that the trucker and then she's lucky to also find the guy in the pickup truck. But you know, Sally, she would have kept running all the way down the state till
Well,
she
let
had.
me just say this. The scene for Sally is that scene when she first goes into the house and she goes upstairs and sees grandpa and grandma, and then she starts to come back down the stairs and Leatherface comes through the door, and then she runs back up the stairs where Leatherface is chasing her, and she runs and jumps out of the window. That's the scene for TCM.
Mm.
And of course, Trish's is because they're similar. Because Trish's is when she runs into the house, and then Jason chases her up the steps, and then there's that scene or that moment where she stops and he looks at her, and then he just runs straight at her, and then she jumps out.
So it's the two jump scenes you put in the opening.
Yes,
Okay.
and that's exactly why I put those in the opening, because
Okay.
they're they have parallels.
Well, you know what? If we're gonna do if it's those two specifically, then I am gonna go with Trish, because you know, even though I did say and she knocked herself out for going with those two, she did it to save herself, but she knew that she would have to go back in to save Tommy. So she's willing to sacrifice herself for a little bit and even though she knew that no matter what injury she was going to get, she'd still have to, you know, suck it up and go back and save her brother.
Okay, all right. Kill, how about you?
This is an easy one. I'm going Sally all the way. And my reasoning literally is fall distance. Sally jumped out, looks like from the second story
Yes.
down to
So didn't Trish, though.
Wait. Down to the dirt. Trish jumped out of a window and landed on a deck. Like she
And then
landed
fell
on
off,
a
yep.
deck right there. Like I'm sorry, like just on that, this is light work. I'm not talking about, you know, after she landed on the deck and then falling again. I'm talking about just from the jump, especially from the clip that you showed, because I was like, oh, that's cool. And there are parallels there. Sally jumped from the second story of her house down to dirt, got back up, and ran her blonde little butt off. Whereas Trish jumped out and landed like 1 foot, like going to the deck top. Like,
but then she crashed off the roof and fell out of a second story window.
Once again, I'm going off of the clip that he showed. It's in my mind. I'm just saying.
Oh, come on. Don't go by the clip, because then you're not, you know, come on. Poor Trish.
Look, I'm sorry.
He's got to go by the clip.
I still gotta go. Sally hit dirt, like window to dirt. There was no in between.
Right.
So,
She landed on her feet. You know, poor Trish didn't. I mean, there's a difference there.
Well,
hey, she got better knees. I don't know. Sally all the way.
All right.
Sorry.
All right. So Coriander, you're going with Trish, I assume, because you've already.
You know it.
All right. You know, for me, this is interesting because, and for you guys that have been around, I've referenced Trish so many times. Whenever we see a character do this, when they jump out of a window, shout out to Kara and Halloween Curse of Michael Myers, because I always say it was you pulled a Trish, but Sally has a great jump scene too, and obviously it's an older movie, so really Sally was the beginning of all that. That being said, when I think about the scene itself, there's two things I think about. Number one, when Sally starts coming down the stairs and sees Leatherface, Marilyn Burns, rest in peace to Marilyn Burns, she lets out a scream. I mean, it truly seems like it's a real scream. And it really accentuates what happens. But I'm going to give the point to Friday, and this is why. Because when Trish is running up those stairs, it looks like Ted White is literally got his hand on her back. That's how close he is. And then for whatever reason, it built up the tension. This is where I'm getting at with it and why I'm giving it the point. Because she stops, and he stops, and he looks at her, and again, these guys are just so good in this scene. She's just looking at him and kind of hyperventilating and making this almost squeal type of sound, and then all of a sudden it's almost like Ted White is just like, you know, F this shit, and starts running right at her like a bulldozer, and she's just like, well, gotta go, and she jumps out the window. Now granted, she does land on the deck as she rolls first and then falls on her back, and then that board pops up in the air and hits her. I'm like, holy crap. But scene wise, I gotta give it to Trish on this one, so point goes to Friday. Okay, this is fun, man. You guys in the chat. Wow. Jeff's going with Trish. Julie saying better knees. She says boo to Kara. That's great. Ben saying Trish's landing was more dramatic than Sally's. All right. Julie's going with Sally. Paula's going with Trish. All right. Jean's going with Sally. Okay. Neil saying Sally for sure. That's a leap of pure terror. Didn't care what she landed on. It's a good point. Yep. Danielle saying respect for both for having the sense to jump out of windows versus facing Leatherface or Jason. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. They both were so smart. They're very, very smart final girls. Next up, Eric, more tension. Which movie has more tension in it?
Oh, for me, 100% TCM. Okay. Once Sally enters the gas station and the cook takes her hostage, the whole rest of the movie is nothing but tension. And I've said it before, it's a little too much for me, but that's the point. So 100% TCM.
All right. Kill, how about you?
I love them both, but I really think back to when I was younger and I saw these movies and I thought Texas Chainsaw Massacre was real. Mm-hmm. And it is very tense from the moment that the kids pick up the hitchhiker to the moment that they come into that house. I can smell the house. Yeah. I can feel the heat of that house. I can it just, you know how you look at certain movies and you can feel the weather, you can smell the what's going on there. I smell the meat packing plant and other iterations in TCM movies.
Even inside the van, stunk.
yeah.
Yep.
And not that Friday doesn't have tension, but I just feel that's exactly what TCM, especially this first one, is. It's nothing but tension. It's high tension.
There you go. Yeah. All right. Coriander, how about you?
Yeah, so unfortunately, I'm going to have to agree.
All right. Well, it's not unfortunately. You just given the point.
No, it is a good movie, but I just love Jason,
Well, we all do. But
and this is a battle match, so yeah.
It is. Yeah. All right. To me, I also agree with you guys. This has to go to TCM. Some way, somehow, they were able to take a very simple premise and just ramp it up so high. Kill, you're right. When we were younger, you really felt like TCM, it was real. It was something real that you were watching. And again, just the way it was set up and the characters and how the story unfolds and just how crazy the family was. Like, you really believed it. And Marilyn Burns, man, especially that last whatever it is 40 minutes of the movie, it's just a roller coaster of tension. It's absolutely crazy. So it definitely has to go to TCM. It's not even a question for me. All right, let's jump down into the chat. We got Jason coming in again with a $5 super chat. All right, man, thank you so much. We'll get another 5 points to Jason, saying the dog had the best jump. Also, did we forget Mr. Happy Hates Glass? Megan from Friday 13th Part 6 is the most underrated final girl. Just ask Coriander, laugh out loud. Okay, all right. So we got
come on, Jason.
we got 5 points going to Friday. All right. Climbing the hill. Thank you so much, man. We appreciate that. Scott coming in saying TCM for tension. Wayne saying TCM for tension. All right. Let's see. Ben also going with TCM. And what? Neil coming in.
Oh no!
$25 super chat.
So much for climbing that hill.
Thank you so much. Saying putting my boy Leatherface on a higher perch. Dyer's getting a bit too close. Wow.
Yeah, come on. Oh my god.
Neil
Jason, I thought we had it. I thought we had it.
The cats.
There was
damn.
Fights. No one else is gonna save Jason. That's crazy. 25 points.
I wish I could.
Thank you thank you so much. Seriously, Neil, we appreciate it. All joking aside, and we're doing
Yeah.
this for fun. This is all for fun. But it really does, help keep us going with this, and the time that we put into it. So we really appreciate it. So let's do a super chat clip for you, Neil, and also for you too, Jason, and you guys rock. And again, these Titans are at it back and forth, and when Titans fight, sometimes they need a little rest, and it might look like this.
Now listen!
It's the guy at the end that gets me every time.
The knowledge brother.
He's keeping track. He's like the Watcher in Marvel Comics. All right, let's go. Let's go to our next category. This is crazy, man. Next category: your favorite character, Eric. Favorite character. Who gets the point?
Come on, man. Alex named me a Crispin cultist for a reason. I'm going Jimbo.
All right.
Best dancer in a slasher franchise, hands down.
Hands down, man. Hands down. All right.
Plus, and also, all kidding aside, he's also kind of the dork who having problems with the ladies, and in the end, he gets the girl.
Right? He shows that there's a light at the end of the tunnel.
Never give up.
That's right. That's right. You can be the best around. All right. Kill. How about you?
This might sound boring, but I love Trish. Trish is like that classic all-American girl. She's a good girl, loves her mom and her brother that tries to scare her every 5 seconds. But, even though he's a little shit, that's her little shit, and she just seems like a good, decent kid, and she's an awesome final sibling. I won't say final girl. She's a final sibling. She's awesome at it.
All right. Okay, Coriander, how about you?
Obviously, it's got to be Gordon.
All right.
That counts.
He was cute.
Yeah.
Oh, God. I never know what you're going to say. All right. So we're going to give the point to Friday for Gordon. Justice for Gordon. All right.
That's right.
For me, this, now I'm going to say this. This is.
Can I just say, too, before you go?
Yeah.
He jumped through the window also,
He did.
So you got to give that poor dog some points.
That's right. That is right. I agree. This is a little challenging. I have a lot of favorite characters, from this Friday the 13th movie, but also really, really love Sally. I truly do. I mean, she's a fantastic final girl and character that is she's just ramped up throughout that whole movie. So like the ending, that last third of the film, that last 45% of the film is just so worth it because you spend time with her on this day that she's having that just turns to shit. That being said, I have to give this point to Tommy Jarvis. And the reasoning is, when I saw this as a kid, he was us. He was me. I looked at this movie through his eyes as a little kid. That's kind of how I envisioned it. You got these teenagers that next door, they're partying. You're trying to, peek at what they're doing. You're trying to be older than you truly are. And you are able to be a creative little kid who's quirky, but you really are intelligent. And not since Jenny, obviously, using a psychology on Jason, which was first time I saw that scene at the end, I was just like, oh, wow, you're a smart dude, and he's just one of those characters that is just iconic in the franchise and in horror for me. So I'm going to go with Tommy Jarvis, but I absolutely love Sally. I truly do. All right. In the chat, let's see what these guys are saying. Neil saying, my favorite character is the most misunderstood man in horror, Franklin. Good point, man. And it's funny because we were talking about this when we watched the movie, and I was saying this to Coriander, and Coriander, you might remember this. I was saying, you know what? A lot of people, they dish on Franklin, and, there's a couple of moments here and there. But if you think about it, that first 50% of the film, he really carries a lot of it just through his conversation, being kind of, innocent, curious, just always having conversations with everyone.
We just
dealing
picked
with
up Dracula.
We just picked up Dracula, a whole family of Draculas.
Draculas. Yep.
So, shout out to Franklin, because I think overall, especially with this watch, and I've seen this film so many times since I was a kid, but especially with this watch where we were kind of absorbing it more deeply for Battle World, I just came to appreciate him. I really, really did.
I've said it many times before, and I think I might have even said it the first time we did 74 Chainsaw for Battle World. If you really sit down and think about it, everyone hates on Frank because he's complaining. Can you blame him? First time we see him, he's trying to go to the bathroom. He falls down the hill. He's constantly picked on by his sister's friends. You don't really see her sticking up for him.
Right.
Okay? They go to the farmhouse, Grandpa's farmhouse. He's left behind because he can't get up the stairs. He gets attacked by the hitchhiker. And then again, one of Sally's friends says, he put a curse on you. He's coming to get you. So you kind of, if you sit down and think about it, he has a reason to be whiny and complaining and just talking about how bad his day is, because you would too.
That's right. I agree. No doubt. And real quick too in the chat, hey, we got Jeff coming in saying Trish is the best. There might be a shot.
All right, Jeff.
$20 super chat, 20 points going to Friday the 13th. And guys, there might be a chance. Saying Trish is the best. Jeff, we appreciate the support, man, as always. You're always jumping into the streams, hanging out with us, helping out with comments in the live chat, and just doing so much to keep this community strong. Thank you so much for the super chat, man. Seriously, we really appreciate it. It means a lot. And wow, there could be a chance.
Oh my God.
There is a little bit of hope. You guys are trying. And Jason, he's almost up that hill. He's almost. Thank you so much, man. Let's do a clip. And hey, speaking of icons, look, sometimes you get misunderstood, and this is what it might look like.
Bust down on the guy.
Cardiana. I was home with my kid, Mamiana.
I was home with my kid, Chuckiana.
Poor Chucky.
Did you say poor Chucky? More like poor baby,
Well, that too.
Poor Chucky. Come on.
That too. Thank you, Jeff. Much appreciation to you, man.
God.
Seriously, that's helping us out so much. Danielle saying, I misunderstood the category favorite character, the guy that was there to avenge his sister from part 2. Yes, Rob. Absolutely.
That actor recently passed away too, within the last few years. Yeah.
Rest in peace to him, man. When we do these streams, and I've said this many times before, and I'm sure all of us on this panel can agree, I appreciate talking about these movies and our memories that we have with them, and just putting a light on it for maybe some people that maybe have never seen them, or maybe didn't grow up with them like we did, because time is undefeated. Time is undefeated, and you should probably get what I mean by that. And so being able to talk about these characters, these fantastic people behind and in front of the camera, I appreciate doing it, and much respect to him. He was great. He was a great character. I really enjoyed him in the film. All right, real quick, jumping back in, and Jason coming in again.
Oh, jeez.
Wow. Hey, man. We got it. There's a shot. Jason coming in with a $20 super chat saying, I'm a messenger of the Night Watch Zone. You're doomed if you don't shop the Night Watch Zone merch store. This place is cursed. Cursed. It's got a shopping curse. Let's go, Jason.
Wow.
All right, man. Thank you so much. We appreciate it.
You worried for nothing, it looks like.
Well, it's get it's hard to tell because I'm just looking at it quick, but it's getting close. It's almost there, man. Thank you so much, Jason. Seriously, we appreciate it. We really do, man. And Ginger Ninja is in the house. What's up, brother? saying, "Has Jason won this yet?" Well, bro, I'm gonna tell you what. He started off minus 50. Okay, I'm just gonna say.
Before
I know
the
you
intro.
just jumped in. Before the intro, he was already down 50 points. Oh man. All right. Very, very cool. All right, let's go to our next category, guys. This is crazy. Scariest scene, Eric. Scariest scene. Which scene would that be from either film?
Oh, that's tough, man. First thing that popped into my mind, I'm going with the finale of TCM. Just seeing Sally. Oh, okay, not the final part of the finale, but the dinner scene.
Okay.
And even though I've said it's sensory overload for me as a viewer, it's still scary as hell. She's tied to this chair, and she's got these, well, counting Grandpa, she's got these 4 psychopaths, even though he's just sitting there. So she's got 4 psychopaths just yelling and screaming and hooting and hollering and all these animal noises that they're making. You don't know what's going to happen to her, and they're just doing it to do it. You know, she's at the table for a good 3 or 4 minutes before they take her over to the bucket and Grandpa, and then that's even more scary because the way they're just holding her down and Grandpa just keeps hitting her and dropping the mallet and hitting her. That's terrifying for just what this woman is going through. Hashtag snuff film, like Killing likes to say. You know what I mean?
Yeah. There you go. All right. Kill, how about you?
This is why, like, Eric is my boy.
Well,
that was
like
this
the
exactly
guy in the clip, you know.
Yep, that's exactly what came to my mind. And I'm not just piggybacking off his answer, but essentially what makes it work for me is her acting. It's so damn believable, you know, from the way her eyes look, from her facial tics and mannerisms, from her screaming. She looks like she is truly being tormented.
Yeah,
and it comes through. You know, whether it's that scene or whether she's out running from Leatherface, or just the way she's looking, and she's just like, you know, just in the way the camera is just has her face just front and center. She sells it, you know, and that is exactly the scene that came to my mind, not because of the scary antagonist, but because our final girl sells it and you feel it. And that is why I used to think this movie is real, because this poor, beautiful woman is going through hell. So yes, great minds, Eric. Great minds.
All right. Coriander, how about you? Scariest scene?
You know, that is a real scary scene, but I think probably what I think is just maybe a little worse is when she's got both of those goons chasing her, the brother and Leatherface.
At the end?
And, yep. And yeah, and that whole scene plays out, you know.
Sure.
So, yeah.
Okay. All right. And real quick, too, we got Lamar in the chat. What's going on, Lamar? Good to see you, man. Hope you're doing well.
Welcome.
Cool. And by the way, if you guys haven't hit the like button, please do. You know, and Coriander, that is a scary scene at the end, and you guys were right too, because at the end it's like she jumped out and basically escaped hell, but they're right there to get her, and she's hurt, she's bloodied, she's in the middle of nowhere. How can she survive? You know, she can't be at her fullest because she's so injured. That's a great scene, but the one that gets me, and of course, you know, I'm giving the point to TCM, but the scene that gets me, and it's always gotten me, and it's one of the reasons why I've had it in our intros for so long over the years, is when she first comes into contact with Leatherface and he kills Franklin and he's chasing her in the woods. It seems like they're in the middle. They might as well be on the moon. There's nobody that's going to save this chick. It's so dark. It's darker than dark. You can't see nothing. And she's running. And again, you know, rest in peace to both of them, including Gunner, because some way, somehow, to be that big, he was so agile, you know, and as he's running with the chainsaw, there's like character to the way he's running with the chainsaw. It's not just him running with it. It's almost like he's acting with it. I know that sounds weird to say, but that's how it feels. And in that it was like 2 shots where he's right behind her, and it's so well done. Toby Hooper, when they were able to shoot it in the one shot, and they had the crane work or whatever, or the it was on the track, the camera, I believe it was.
Steadicam.
But it just looks so good because there's Sally running and Gunner's looks like he's right behind her, and it's so damn scary, so tension filled, and to this day it's still effective to me, and I've always gravitated to that scene. So I'm going to give it to that one. Yeah,
especially we don't really makes it scary is it's at nighttime, and you can tell Texas or not, you can still tell it's kind of cold, and just the size difference. You have this big mass of Leatherface chasing this really skinny petite woman, and that size difference between the two, it adds to the scariness.
Yeah, with the chainsaw running. I mean, like it's crazy. It's like, wow, just iconic. Real quick too in the chat, Jason coming in, $2 super chat, saying Friday 13th cutscene with the mom in the bathtub. Oh my god, yeah, the deleted scene kind of showing the demise of Mrs. Jarvis. Absolutely, that's crazy, but I don't know, man. I'm kind of glad that they didn't have it in there. It was almost like, what happened to her? You see that scene where she looks up and she grimaces, and it's like, wow. But yeah, shout out to Mrs. Jarvis. She was really cool too, man.
She was so good.
She was. We got another 2 points to Friday the 13th. Very cool. You guys are close. Let's go to our next category. The design of the villain. Eric, who gets the point? Is it Leatherface or is it Jason Voorhees?
I love them both, but I'm going to go with Leatherface in his initial appearance that we see him. When he not the dinner scene where he's all prettied up, I guess you could say. I love when he's got the butcher's apron. You know what I mean? And he's just got them black slacks, and you can hear the boots on the floor when he's walking. And that mask design, that original mask design that we see, and I love how we get a lot of close-up shots of it, like when he's sitting in the den and he's wondering, he puts his hands to his head, like, what am I going to do when my brothers come home, type of thing. He's actually worried. And then the fact that you get to see little bits of his face underneath. It's truly scary, and it really does. I don't know what the actual mask itself was made out of, but to me, it does really look like dried leather or any type of dried skin. So just the way it looks authentic, I guess you would say, helps add to it. So I got to go leather with his first outfit, I guess you would say.
All right. Okay. Kill, how about you?
This is hard. I really like them both. But since this is the second movie where Jason has his mask and he's not Sackboy, and that mask is still pretty crisp.
It is kind of crisp.
You know where I'm going here, Knight. Other than that axe mark, but we let that slide. I'm looking at that picture right there. It still looks pretty crisp.
Yeah.
Now mind you, this is not my favorite iteration of how Jason looks. If you've been watching the channel, you already know I like me some zombie Jason, but yeah, I got to go with Jason on here, because that mask is crisp, baby.
All right, man. Good for you. Coriander, how about you?
I think you know who this point's going to.
What the heck? Oh man. Okay. All right. For me, let me just say both of these villains look great. They really, really do, and they're doing multiple things. Now, obviously, Leatherface has multiple looks, but they're good, and they're still some of the best in the entire franchise. That's crazy. Okay, a 50-year-old movie still has some of the best looks for Leatherface itself, and that's great. Jason looks great, like you said. Kill the mat. Look at that mask. It's crisp. It's so crisp. Look at it. It's so nice. This was the Jason, this one in part 3, this was the Jason in my nightmares as a kid. This is what he looked like. But here's the other thing. One other thing that we haven't mentioned. The Savini effect. When that mask comes off, and you see Jason, what is going on, bro? You are having a bad day at the office. That's what you're having. Seriously. But he just looks fantastic. He looks so it's just iconic. It's truly iconic. And as good as he looked without the mask in 3, he looks even better in 4. And Ted White, being a stunt actor for so many years before this, just has a physicality that is so amazing. Ted White was the oldest actor to portray Jason, and you would never know it growing up, and until I started doing YouTube, and I never knew that factoid. He was the oldest Jason. I believe he was like 54 at the time. He did not look it one bit.
He's my favorite Jason.
One bit. His physicality was amazing. When he was chasing Trish, he was moving and grooving. So all of that said, I got to give this point to Jason. He just looks amazing. He's menacing. The mask, the way that Ted White portrayed himself within the outfit, and then without the mask, I think it just looks so good. It really does. And it's a credit to the people back then, the wizards of practical effects, and Tom Savini is one of the greatest of all time. So I'm going with our boy Jason. Okay, let's go to the chat and see what these guys are doing. Paula is going with Jason. Danielle saying villain design, Friday 13 Jason himself is horrifying. The mask is not required. All right. Jason Dyer is going with Jason. Okay. Wayne's going with TCM. He is new and going to get you. All right. Gene saying, sorry, I have to go. Have a great night. Whoever wins, I want you to know I love both. Thank you so much, Gene. We appreciate that and hope you have a great night. All right. We got Emperor in the chat. Let's see. Jason said, Ted White is a grown man. Love him. Best Jason of all time. There you go, man. He is one of the best ever. There's no doubt at all.
I think Ted White got started in like doing westerns and stuff for his stunt work. So
Yep. Yeah, man. He's had, and he's had little moments here and there. One movie that I would have never thought to have known that he was in. He was in Romancing the Stone. The beginning of Romancing the Stone. That scene where she's having the story play out of the western. That bad guy. That's Ted White.
Okay.
Yeah. So anyways, he was amazing. Rest in peace to him. One of the best of all time. No doubt at all. Next category, guys. Here we go. The best kill scene, Eric. The best kill scene. Which movie has it?
I'm going with, honestly, I gotta go with Friday. I gotta go with Jason's death. You know what I mean? It's hard to top that, whether, it's the final chapter or not. It really is, because he doesn't come back until part 6. But you get that, the mask is knocked off, and he gets a machete to the face.
Yeah.
And then he falls to his knees and he slides down it, and you see the effect. The effect, I don't know if it's done on purpose or not, but you kind of see the head just kind of tear a little bit as it's going down the blade.
Yes, you do.
And then that doesn't kill the bastard. You know what I mean? Tommy sees his fingers twitching and he just chops him up. You know what I mean? Like it's a butcher, chopping up steak and stuff like that. So gotta go Jason's death for the best kill scene.
All right, Kill, how about you?
See, I had a different one, but now, man.
See? All right, next week we'll put Kill.
No. Like I gotta go with that because solely because of when he's sliding down on the machete,
and you see the head like a head. It's like an egg splitting.
It is, I mean? Yeah,
like a hard-boiled egg.
Yeah, I was thinking of like corkscrew kills and things like that, but yeah, the sliding down the machete, man. That I gotta go with that too.
All right, Coriander, how about you?
I mean, damn it, guys. I had that scene written in my little book here. So there you go. I really don't have much to say, but yeah.
Yeah. All right. It's a great scene because it's practical, bro. Like today they'd be using CGI. But back then, man, you get someone who's a master like Tom Savini, and they brought him in to kill his creation, and it was just I love these movies, guys. I really do. You can't tell. But for me, the best kill scene, and I do love that scene. I really, really do, and it's great. But the one I'm going to pick is Sam's death on the raft, and that one always got me. And Judy Aronson, who's absolutely amazing. She was a really cool character in the film. I really felt bad for her, because she literally went out there because Paul was being an ass. You know what I mean? So getting killed that way, and then her screaming, it was like, it just looked so friggin', real. And she did a lot of work on that. Almost, I think she did get hypothermia. And Ted White himself came to the rescue because they did take after take after take after take. And he basically said to Joseph Zito, he said, look, this is the last time we're going to do it. Her lips are turning blue. If we don't get this shot, we're done. And if you're not going to be done, I'm walking out. Ted White himself said that. So, cool. There's a lot of good stuff behind the scenes. And again, this is type of stuff we talk about all the time here for you guys that are newer. But yeah, I'm going to go with the raft kill with Sam because it's just so iconic. And it's always been one of those moments where it's like, shit. You know what I mean? I didn't want her to die. So anyways, all right. Real quick too in the chat. Let me jump to these guys, catch up a little bit. Let's see. We have Danielle saying Friday 13th. The kills are pre-Final Destination level gross. Yeah, good point. Neil saying, yeah, Jason's death is the bomb. All right. Blood Popcorn's in the chat. What's up, man? Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Very cool to have you here with us again. And Jeff is coming in. $20 super chat. Saying, Jason, mommy has a reward for you. Oh boy, we might.
Awesome.
It might happen, guys. It might happen. You guys have been scratching and clawing. So that'll be 20 points to Friday 13th. Thank you so much, Jeff. Again, wow. Seriously, we appreciate the support, and it really does. It makes a difference, and you do that quite often. It doesn't go unnoticed, man. Seriously, thank you so much. So let's do another clip. Let's do a super chat clip for Jeff. And look, sometimes you just have things that happen and you have no idea why they happen, Kill, but it's cool anyways, even if you're talking about another icon. Here we go.
Take us away. Take us away. Take us away. Big trouble. Little China.
All right.
The fact that that's the official music video too. It gets
I love it, man.
Yeah, me too.
Oh man. And Julie reminding people, remember to hit the like button if you haven't already. We appreciate it. And also, if you'd like to become a channel member and join us for exclusive streams, watch parties, hangouts, and all of that type of stuff, the inner circle, you can hit the join button next to the subscribe button, or you can join us on Patreon. Thank you so much. And Neil saying, to be fair, though, Hooper wanted a PG rating for TCM, so the kills were intentionally toned down. It's a good point. And, I think actually it's kind of like with Jaws, right? The things that we don't see really are accentuated. For instance, Pam with the hook. That scene still gets me to this day.
I'll
There's
say
no blood.
If it wasn't for Jason sliding down the machete, I would have given it to when Leatherface. I'm bad with names. When Leatherface uses the hammer, the mallet on the one guy.
Ooh,
there's no blood. There's no blood at all. So you don't need the blood for a good kill. It's the way he falls and twitches his leg. So it was close.
Yep, that is a good scene. It's still iconic after all these years. We're doing 50 years, bro. 50 years. Jeff said, I think the first hospital scene is pretty good where he has the surgical saw to use it on Axel, twisted his head around at the same time as he's using the saw. Good point, man. Jason started off quick,
Yeah, he
he was like, guess what, bitches, I'm back. You know what I'm saying? So he did not wait. He did not wait at all. Okay, guys, let's see what we have next for our next category. Director. So between Joseph Zito and obviously the amazing Tobe Hooper, which director overall did the better job with the film?
Personal choice. I'm going with Joseph Zito. The reason why is because, I know this might be a category coming up, but I think Toby could have toned down the dinner scene. And that, in my opinion, was a poor choice. I know his intent, and I can appreciate that, but it's way too much for me. I appreciate what how Joseph does it. It's pretty boom, 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 but also the fact, that opening sequence, that we haven't seen from a Friday movie before. You know what I mean?
Right.
I can appreciate that, and I think, I don't know, man. I think just I can appreciate that Toby did so much with so little. With just that little bit that's too much for me. And he's the director. It's his choice what he can edit and what he chooses not to edit. I think that's what knocks TCM out of this category for me personally.
All right. Okay. Kill, how about you?
This is tough. I really think both directors did a great job. I'm leaning towards TCM. And the reasoning for that is, for me, it blurred the lines on, is this real or is this a movie? Because you don't get that level of grit anymore. I mean, yeah, Rob Zombie, he does his stuff, his like Kentucky Fried Horror, but this movie, you could, and I know I'm gonna sound like a broken record. You can smell it, you can feel it. The tension is there. The insanity is there. And it's palpable. And it's visceral. It's angry, yet it's controlled. It's dysfunctional, yet it's structured. And it's just sick. Really, and just for what he was able to do with the budget, and for the movie to be as early in, like, the horror world as it was, for it to be as old as what it is. And it still holds up, in my opinion. It still is disturbing. And yeah, it's just a masterpiece here. I mean, I love Friday the 13th, but there's no lying here. I got to go with TCM.
All right. Okay. Coriander, how about you?
I have to agree with Killian. I mean, what he did with what little he had, and to make it, look real, and yeah, it was just incredible. So yeah.
Okay. For me, this is tough, man. And again, like you guys already said it all. Both of these directors did a hell of a job. They were doing different things as well. So, when you compare it that way, it's kind of like apples to oranges. But just, taking a step back and just looking at what was done. This is tough. It's really, really close, but I have to edge it out to the late, great Tobe Hooper. What he did with that film was just some amazing stuff. He didn't have a lot, and some people would say, well, that's a disadvantage. I think for him and for this movie, it became an advantage, very similar, like I just said a few minutes ago, just like with Jaws, allowing this to have a lot of psychological aspects. When you watch it, as a kid, when I watched it, this was messing with my mind, and I couldn't even comprehend all of the things that he was trying to do with this film. And here we are years later as an adult, and I'm still absorbing all the great things that were in this movie. And, Joseph Zito did a great job, no doubt about it. There's a lot of great things in that film. And Eric, you're right. He had great pacing of the film. That's why it's one of my favorite Friday films. The pacing is so good. Boom, 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 boom. The characters' chemistry, boom, boom. But I just got to edge it out to Toby on this one. It's tough, but Toby just, there's a reason why this film is still being talked about 50 years later. And granted, we'll be talking about Friday, in another 10 years when it's 50 years old. But I just got to edge this out to Toby Hooper on this one. Okay, all right. That was that was a close one. That's really, really tough. Let's go to the chat. Emperor saying he's going with Hooper. You didn't need blood in your face kills. It was true psychological, visceral horror. If it makes you uneasy, then it worked. It wasn't too much or too little, just right. Well said. Well said. Danielle saying TCM did come across as a smut film. It did. It really did. Wayne saying gritty, groundbreaking by Hooper.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Let's see. And you guys are coming up with ideas for future episodes. Put those in the comment section. Some of those we do have on the list. Some good ideas too.
We got one on the list I saw.
Yeah, very much so. All right. Let's go to our next category. You knew we had to get here sooner or later, Eric. The question is, who gets the point? Is it Trish or is it Sally Hardesty?
I gotta go Trish. You know, I've said it before. I don't really have as much of an attachment to Sally as you do personally, Knight. But she has come to grow on me. You know, watching it more and more with the Battle World stuff. But the fact that Trish is, you know, first off, even before Jason even freaking shows up, I love her. I love her relationship with her little brother. I love her relationship with her mom. Her mom is like one of the unsung heroes, you know, in the movie. You know, I love her. But then when shit hits the fan, she will do anything to protect her little brother. Like even in the finale, she's probably, you know, Jason's got at least 6 inches, if not a foot on her, at least 100 pounds. And she is not afraid to, you know, tell Tommy to get out, you know, get the hell out of here. And she's just got a little kitchen knife. But when he's on her, and right before Tommy does his little trick, you know what I mean? When he shaves his head, she is still fighting Jason tooth and nail.
Yeah.
Laying on the ground. Gotta go Trish.
All right. Kill, how about you?
This is tough. I really love them both. And there's pros to both of them. Whereas Sally had to fight off the whole family. Sally had to fight, and she didn't have a Tommy to help her. You know, but then again, I agree with Eric. I mean, Trish, you know, she was scrappy, and then she was like, that's my little brother, man, you know, and I'm not gonna let this happen. But with that being said, you know, the number of antagonists and the fact of not having help, I slightly have to go with Sally, very slightly, because I like I said, I love them both, but I really love Sally, and I don't think Sally gets enough props, you know, because the family put her through hell. And to see all of her friends become lunch meat, you know, I gotta slightly go with Sally, but shouts out to Trish, love you.
All right, Coriander, how about you?
This sucks because
right?
any other time I'd be like Trish, but Sally, yeah. I mean, this poor girl at the end, she barely makes it to the road, and it's lucky that truck came and killed that one goon, because if not, yeah, she would have died. She wouldn't have made it. So the fact that she got through all the shit that she went through, yeah, man, I gotta give it to Sally too.
All right. This is tough, man, because both of these actresses were so good. You know, Marilyn Burns, rest in peace, and Kimberly Beck as Trish, just awesome. You know, and they have great attributes and great scenes in these films. Trish, to me, is one of those final girls. I think we were talking about Coriander, and I'm sure, and hopefully we'll do this soon when we talk about the Friday Final Girls, which is a very fun and popular conversation that we've had before. Trish is one of those final girls, I think, that also is kind of unsung or a little underrated. I think she's fantastic. She's just so great, and you guys said it. She has a great relationship with her family, and I really love Trish a lot. Sally is a regular girl, and like you were saying, Kill, she's abducted by this family, you know. It's like, how do you deal with that? And that dinner scene at the end, a lesser person might have just given up, You know, you're being put through the ringer and there's no hope, there's no escape, there's no lifeline. This is really tough, but I'm going to edge it out to Sally. And the reasoning is because of what she went through, the odds were stacked against her and she just kept going. She kept going. When she was being hit in the head by the mallet, she just kept wiggling. She never stopped. Now, granted, Trish did that too, like you said, Eric. When Jason got her down to the ground, she kept she's punching him in the mask, bro. That does not feel good. So Trish did it too. But with Sally, every time it seemed like she was going to get out of it, they pulled her back in. When she jumped out of the window, they pulled her back in. When she jumped out of the window after getting hit in the head with the mallet, they're chasing her. You know, Leatherface is right there. She could barely climb into the back of that pickup truck. It's just a survivor's instinct. And, you know, she's an OG, and you guys know I'm old school. I got to edge it out to Sally on this one. And I absolutely love her as a character. I really do. In the chat, Neil is reminding us, in the future, TCM will always have been talked about for a decade more. There you go, man. You're all right, man. Scott heading out. Have a good night, Scott. Hope you have a good night. Thanks for being here. Yes. Neil's going with Sally because her terror was actually real. There you go. Wayne saying Hellraiser versus Candyman. We actually did that.
Yep.
Check out. Listen, and Julie, if you can put this in the chat, check out our playlist, guys. And by the way, if you have long drives or if you're at work like our good friend Ginger Ninja and you have hours to spare, put that playlist on. Check out our episodes. Have something to listen to. We really appreciate it, and it definitely helps to support the channel in a different way where you're watching our content that we put together in a playlist for you guys for future reference. And they're still fun to watch. I watch some old episodes and just have so much fun with it. So, all right. Oh, Eric, you already said it in the chat. Yeah. We've done that one, Wayne. You're all right, man.
I have my moments.
Eric's like, let me take care of this. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. Dominic's going with Trish. Wayne's going with Sally. All right. Very, very cool. We got Troy in the chat. What's going on? Hope you're doing well. Okay. Jeff going with Trish. Unstoppable killer. Jason. Sally would not survive Jason. Ooh, okay. All right. There's our playlist for Battle World, and we have playlists for everything that we do, guys. So it'd be great if you guys check out those things, and it's much appreciated because, you know, we just enjoy having these conversations. So, all right. And that's a good idea too, Melissa. Naked Gun versus Caddyshack. I like that. Ooh. All right. Yeah. Danielle. Nate's voice is hypnotic. There you go. Thank you. So let's do this, guys. Let's go to Julie's laughing. You guys are all right. Our next category, you knew we were going here too, Eric. Jason or Leatherface? Who gets the point?
I gotta go with my man Jason. He's always been my favorite slasher. That notwithstanding, even if we're talking these two films, Ted White's my favorite Jason. No disrespect to Gunnar, because he did a fantastic job. He set the bar, you know, being the first. But for Ted White is a scary Jason. You know what I mean? He's willing to go after kids, which, you know, sets the bar in my book when it comes to slasher movies. You know, and just the way he just gives no, you know what I mean? He will go through a window to grab you from behind. He will burst through a door and then throw a hammer at you. You know what I mean? He is so great. Plus, again, shout outs to Ted White, just to how cool he was on set with Judy scene in the water. And he honestly, when you see him out of makeup, he's just a cuddly old grandpa. You know what I mean? You just want to give a hug. But when he puts on that mask, he's all business. But I'm going with final chapter Jason.
All right. Kill, how about you?
Love them both, but I gotta go Jason. Just for the sheer fact of he will kill you with whatever is near him. You know, he's adaptable. He's an adaptable killer. You know, he'll figure it out, and he'll use things that you won't even think, oh, clearly he can't kill me with this. Yeah, he can. Yeah, he can. And he will. I'll show you, you know. And like Knight has said and probably will say, when I think of Jason, this is definitely one of the versions, if not the version, that always comes to my head. Because this was the one that I grew up on. This was the one that started the fear. And I mean, look at that. Just imagine you wake up and you see that coming at you. No disrespect to Leatherface. I mean, he's a proper gentleman right there with his tie. But look at this dude. Look at the fingernails. Look at he's
the
like
dirty,
I'm coming.
long fingernails. Yep.
Yeah, he's like, I'm coming to diddle you. It's like, no, don't diddle me.
Wow.
I gotta go to Jason. He is nightmare fuel.
Okay, all right, Coriander. How about you?
I don't know about diddling, but definitely Jason.
It's the fingers.
Right.
It's the fingers.
It's the fingers, man. There you go. All right. Very, very cool. For me, both of these villains in this iteration of them are both iconic. And again, credit to Gunnar, because this is still one of the best versions of Leatherface. Again, a franchise spanning 50 years and so many movies. He was just fantastic. There's no doubt about that. That being said, I gotta go with Jason, man. I gotta go with Jason. Again, this is one of the versions that was in my nightmares. He still is so imposing. And when you think about what Ted White did, and age-wise, comparing himself to CJ Graham, to Kane, to Derek Mears. Derek Mears is basically an athlete, okay? And to still be at that level physically, as far as what he was doing at over 50 years of age, it just shows so much. Because as a kid, I had no clue what his age was. If you told me he was 20 years old, I would have believed it by the way he was moving. So all of that combined with what he does and his creativity, like you were saying, Kill, I gotta go with Jason on this one. There's no doubt about it. Okay, all right, let's go to the chat. Let's see what we got going on. We got Mark in the chat. What's up, Mark? Welcome to the chat. Hope you're enjoying the show. And by the way, if you guys haven't hit the like button, please do. Mark's saying, I like how they brought back Tom Savini to kill Jason, and Corey Feldman's character is sort of based off him. Absolutely. Corey Feldman making masks, being into effects and all of that type of stuff. That was a really cool nod to the great Tom Savini. Thanks for being here, man. We appreciate it. Hope you enjoy the show. All right. And here we go. Neil coming in again. A $25 super
Oh
chat.
my god.
Wow. Wow.
Neil has 100 cats.
He does, man. And I think this put Leatherface ahead by 10. There you go. Wow.
No.
25
What?
points to Leatherface. Saying TCM is probably going to lose this battle, but I've got to fight the good fight. Leatherface forever. Wow.
Oh my god.
He is not playing. Okay, guys, let's do another clip. And hey, look, hopefully this will never happen to anyone, but hey, this is what it might look like.
Working out with the stretch band. Oh.
What did I just
There we go, man. Neil, thank you so much.
Comeback king.
We the comeback king. We appreciate
Bless
it.
his heart.
He's not playing around. He's making sure Leatherface is ahead by 10, guys. This is crazy.
What?
They keep going back and forth. This is so crazy. Rachel's in the chat. What's up, Rachel? Saying, hey, y'all. How are we all doing? We're doing good, Rachel. And this is
Not good.
Well, it's a battle. It's a battle. Jason's trying to hold on to this thing. Julie saying we're 1 like away from 40. Please hit the like button. Absolutely. If you guys look, let me just put it out there. When you guys come here, just please, if you do support the channel and what we do, which we hope you do, hit that like button, please. It's an easy way to help support us. It really is. All right. Let's keep rocking and rolling. Um, Danielle, that was good. He doesn't have kids, right? Rachel saying sounds like poor Coriander is having a meltdown.
Sometimes.
I know. Hey man, it's close. We'll just have to see what happens. Next category, the finale. Eric, who gets the point for the finale?
I'm going with Friday. I've already said as good as the final part of the finale of TCM is. I keep saying it's too much for me. You know, sensory wise, you know, the noise. I mean, I get it. The noise, the close up shots, all that stuff. Too much for me in TCM. I think this finale in Friday, the final chapter, is one of the best of the franchise, in my opinion, because of, even though I'm not a big fan of Tommy tricking Jason, I can get it when that Ginny did it because, you know, she went to school for psychology, whatever. But the way that Trish takes it to him, the way that she doesn't back down, and then of course the death that we've already talked about, and then I do like the little stinger at the end that shows that if this is the final chapter, they might have done another Friday the 13th, even if, you know, let's just say New Beginning didn't happen. They might have had Tommy as the killer. You know what I mean?
Right.
That scary stare that Corey does into the camera. I love it.
All right. Kill, how about you? Who gets the point?
I really like both finales. And, you know, with the family and TCM and all the insanity, you know, Leatherface dancing with the chainsaw, you know, doing the twirls. But I got to go with Friday. Out of all the Fridays, this is one of my favorite finales in the Friday universe. You know, Tommy is the hero. Tommy is quick with, you know, he's quick and he's good with the makeup and the mask. And he was just a really smart kid. And he just the same way Trish said, "You're not going to kill my brother." He said, "You're not going to kill my sister. I'm going to do whatever I got to do." And you feel it. And they are final siblings. So yeah, Friday.
All right. Coriander, how about you?
Oh, you know I'm going with Friday. That finale is like one of the best, you know? So, yeah.
All right. Okay. For me, you know, both finales are great. I absolutely love both of them, but there's no lying here. There's never been any lying. The Friday finale is one of the best. Just all the ramping up. You've got Trish versus Jason, and then you have Tommy involved, and then all of that back and forth. Anytime you have a kid involved, it changes things. And she was just so good as a protector of him. And you just can't beat it. The physicality of Ted White, we've talked about it before, but it all adds up to just, it edges out TCM for me. It really, really does. So yeah, I got to give the point to Friday. Okay, real quick in the chat, just to catch up with these guys, we got a couple people jumping in. Thanks for coming in. We got Nick in the house. What's up, Nick? Good to see you, man. Hope you're doing well. Neil saying the finale goes to TCM. The trucker just skipping out while no one is looking is classic.
Smart man.
There you go. Yeah, he was smart. He's like, bye. Dominic saying you can't beat Jason's death. There you go. And we got Barb in the house. What's going on, Barb? Hope you're doing well. Thank you for jumping in. All right. Talking about stabbing people with knitting needles. I know Rachel was hilarious in that. No doubt at all. Let's see. And Nick saying the final shot of Tommy looking at the camera is done right. Subtle and makes you think. Agreed. Absolutely agreed. Okay, guys. We're going to get ready to go to our last category. It has been tight back and forth. And Jason is down by 10. Wow. This will be the last category we'll take. Super chats for points. So and I know Troy is in here, so now's the time to do it. When we finish this category, we can't take any more points. So if you want to help save Jason, this is the time to do it. So let's get ready to rock and roll. He's down by 10. The category is choose, Eric, and we're going to do this quick because we're running low on time. Who gets the point and why?
Okay, we normally say this, you know, with Battle World, since there is a delay. Usually with chats, we say once Knight gets to his pick, that's when we're cutting it off to be fair for everybody. That being said, I'm going Friday. My favorite Jason. super creative kills. I mean, he only needs a window, you know what I mean, to take out somebody in this one. But I like the characters a lot more too. No disrespect to my boy Franklin, who I will defend, but I like the characters more. It's just a more fun movie, and that says a lot comparing to TCM is not fun, but this is one of the best this is in my top 3 of Friday the 13th films.
Yeah, man. All right. Kill, how about you?
I gotta go Friday the 13th. For me, it's more rewatchable.
Okay.
I enjoy the cast of characters more. I want to hang out with Tommy and make masks with him and check out his collection. You
There you
know,
go.
and on top of that, Jason is awesome, and the crispness of that mask. No disrespect to TCM, but I gotta go Friday.
All right. Coriander, how about you?
Definitely Jason.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. For me, this is this is one of those battles that's really classic because both of these films are so good. They really, really are. I'm gonna have to give this point to Friday the 13th because it's so strong from A to Z. The entire movie, the characters, the cinematography, the continuity, Jason, his physicality, the kills, Tom Savini. I could go on and on. It just, to me, has all of these elements that are just so fantastic. It really is. So it's one of my favorites in the franchise, and it will continue to be that way. It will continue to be that way. So got to go with Friday the 13th. Boom. All right. Okay. Let's see. Let's go to the chat, catch up with these guys. Oh, okay. Wow. All right. So we do have some super chats here. We've got Barb coming in with a $5 super chat. Thank you so much, Barb. We appreciate that. We appreciate you. You know that. Saying, I don't know where we're at here in the votes, but send these 5 to Friday the 13th. Okay, we will do that. So 5 points to Friday. Bro, this is going to be so tight. I think, wow. He's only behind by 5. I think. Rachel's coming in with a $5 super chat, throwing some points to keep Leatherface ahead. Because that movie shook me to my soul. Wow. Wow. All right, Rachel, we will put.
I put it in the chat, but I think Rachel's where the cutoff would be because if we're going to be fair.
Okay.
Because that's when you started giving your explanation.
Okay. All right. And we do have Barb coming in saying 1, 2, 3, 4. I declare vote war. Thank you, Barb. We appreciate you. So that one. We will say thank you for supporting us and this stream and this series. Thank you so much, Barb. We appreciate you. All right, so Rachel's was the last one for points. Thank you so much. And Neil coming in again.
Oh no.
$25 super chat. Final chapter is my favorite Friday the 13th, but TCM is my favorite movie ever. Final shot for TCM. Now that came after our time, correct? Okay. So Neil, thank you.
If we're going to be fair, Rachel will be the last one.
Okay. Neil, thank you so much, man. You've been beyond awesome all night.
Yeah.
Seriously, brother. We appreciate it. And you really put TCM on the map tonight. That's all I got to say. From the get-go. Thank you guys so much. All right. Danielle said I knew Neon was waiting to pounce. Wow. All right. So look, let's do this. Let's do a quick recap as I count up these points. This might go to a tiebreaker, bro. It might. Eric, let's start with you. What do you think about what happened here tonight, man?
Tonight was a lot of fun. Tonight was a lot of fun with the chat and just the discussion. I'm glad we invoked the rematch clause because these are when you have your top 5. These are both, I think, in probably all of our at least top 5s, even if one's at number 5. I love both of these films. Leatherface is truly a scary icon. I think he kind of gets overshadowed by Jason and Michael and Freddy, and I don't really think that's fair because, especially if you go by the first film, he's truly a scary horror icon. And I mean, what else can I really say about the final chapter? It's one of the best made. It's not my favorite, in a fun factor way, but it's in my top 3, going back and forth with 2 because of just how well made it is. With the characters, the directing, my favorite Jason, all that. So great choices for tonight.
Yeah, I mean, regardless of what you may think of the TCM franchise, the peaks and valleys, this is a great, TCM movie. I mean, it's the granddaddy, and it's going against one of the better, in my opinion, Friday movies. One of my favorites. And we knew this was going to be a good back and forth, And I just want to thank all of you guys in the chat for participating and with your super chats, for your team and all the great comments. And this is why we love doing this, because yes, it's pretty known that we all really love Friday the 13th on this channel, but we try to do it as fair and equally as possible, and there's no lying here.
Yep.
And they were going back and forth here, so this was a good one and just super fun.
Yeah, I enjoy both of these movies. For me, they're both like rewatchable. But I do love Jason, and I've known Jason way before I knew anything of Leatherface. So yeah, it's like more nostalgic, and it's just he's fun. I'm not saying Leatherface isn't a good time, but some of those movies, like most of them, suck. Not too many in the Friday series do. So okay, there you go.
All right, we have wow. Okay.
Uh-oh.
So this is what we're gonna do. Now, as usual, when we do these, it can be complicated. And tonight is no different. Wow. Okay, we have a panel vote of 49 to 24.
Oh, wow.
For Friday the 13th. We have the audience chat 95 to 105 TCM. So that means we have to do a tiebreaker. There will be a tiebreaker to see who's the champion. So this is what we're going to do, guys. We're going to do this quick. So listen very carefully. When I say go, and Eric and I will be the ones watching this. Eric's going to be my backup on this. When I say go, I'm going to have you guys just in the chat type in which movie deserves to win, Friday or TCM. When I say go.
I got a question.
Yep.
Last time we did this, there was a lot of confusion. I think it was, but we also did a poll once for 1 minute, and that I think worked out better. Do you think a poll and have them vote for 1 minute would be easier, or do you not have enough time to set one up?
It probably would be easier. Let's do it that way. You're right.
And I have got my stopwatch ready.
Okay. We will do a poll, guys. So everyone hang tight. We're going to do this as a live poll. We're going to go for 1 minute. So all we're going to ask is who should win. Okay. And it's going to be Friday or TCM. And have you guys vote. And we're going to go for a minute and then we're going to call it. Okay. You ready, Eric?
You just tell me when, buddy.
Okay. The poll is live now.
Okay. We have 1 minute.
Okay, 1 minute. Let's have you guys vote. This is how we're going to break the tie. The panel vote went to Friday. The chat, super chat, went to TCM by only 10 points. You guys tried. You guys tried, man. Okay.
20 seconds in.
20 seconds in. So let's have you guys vote. Quickly vote. We've got a lot of people here. So vote, vote, vote. We got 26 people here. We've only got 12 votes, guys. Come on, guys. We do this to have fun with you all and to give you guys the opportunity to be a part of it. I only see 12 votes so far.
Yeah. You got 15 seconds. I'll do a 10-second countdown. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. End it.
Okay, we're gonna end it here. Wow. It is 50-50. Are you serious?
Are
We
you
only had 12 people
bullshit?
voting. Come on, guys. Wow.
Wow.
Okay, this is how we're gonna do this again. So now it's panel. It's back to us again. So
Okay.
we're gonna pick who we think should win. We gave you guys the chance. We had 26 people in the chat, and only 12 of you guys voted. Eric, who should win?
If we're doing the choose category, I'm choosing Jason. I'm choosing
Kill.
Friday the 13th final chapter.
Kill.
We really gotta do this.
I'm just so we can do this, so we can get it done.
Friday the 13th.
Make
Corey
it
Friday.
Okay.
There you go.
Jason is the winner.
Wow.
What?
We tried, man.
What happened to the poll?
Well, the poll was 50-50.
Yeah.
We only had 12 votes.
There's 12 votes and it was 6
Wow,
each.
no shit.
Half of the people didn't vote. I don't know what happened, man.
Yeah.
We had a minute
All
to
right.
vote. Jason wins.
Democracy
Wow.
manifest.
Well, hey, well, here's the thing.
Yeah.
Here's the thing about the way we do it here, which I am very serious about. We definitely feel this is as fair as it gets because again, the chat gets a chance to vote with super chats, which they did, and that aired on the side of TCM. The panel vote aired the side of Friday. We gave you guys a chance to do a poll, a live poll. It was 50% to 50%. Only 12 people voted, which is a little disappointing, but it is what it is. So it just goes back to us. Jason wins, 2-time champion, the first 2-time champion, the originator. It was tough, man. Leatherface tried. Neil tried. Much love to all of you guys who were involved with this fun conversation. I see Val just jumped in. Hey, thanks for getting here, Val. Much appreciated. Again, if you guys haven't hit the like button, please do. We really enjoy doing this series, and you guys are the reason we do it. Thank all of you. This was crazy. This was absolutely crazy. It went back and forth, and oh my goodness. And yeah, we'll have to see what happens next. Leave some comments, guys. Let us know what you think about the different categories and your feelings. We got to a lot of you guys, but not everyone. But yeah, this was fun. So we will catch you guys next time on the next episode of Battle World. If you're watching this, if you're listening to this, you are the Night Watch. Peace.
Cheers.
Okay.